So the fact that a lot of people cheat, does that mean every single person that cheated, does that mean they're probably not going to be good at monogamy? I guess if you can just analyze all of human civilization as it stands and give advice that's definitively true for everyone.
That's exactly what psychologists do all the time. Yeah. We make sweeping
Generalize.
statements.
This is great. No, I think it's really interesting because I see all those things as romantic, choosing not to cheat, you choosing to dedicate yourself fully to another person. I mean, it's all this romantic, and then some people do cheat and your heart is broken and you write a song about it, and then you move on and you try to repair yourself and be vulnerable to another human being and all that.
But why deny yourself the beautiful spectrum of human experience? I mean, it's like eating one meal for the rest of your life. Like, why? You don't have to do that. You can have lots of beautiful people around, and
Well, so for me, actually focusing on a single thing, you get to explore. You mentioned puzzle. Over time, you get to see the nuance, like the beauty of the puzzle. You realize that it's an infinitely long project to really understand another human being. And so, like, if you focus, you don't get distracted. So that applies. I'm a person, when I find a meal I really like, I'll stick to it for a long time. I'm definitely a monogamy person, I think. But that also could be a component of like where I grew up. You know, there's a certain cultural upbringing, and maybe my brain is not allowing myself certain possibilities, you know?
I think it's more that I want people to feel like they have a choice. And that's the important thing. And I think all we see is monogamy everywhere, all the time. And it's this one version of how we can live our lives. And I think it's not the only. And I think that having conversations with your partner as well, especially early, it's harder to bring this up later on. But to have it early and say, you know, how do you actually want to structure your life? And I think, how do you want to structure your relationship as part of that? And especially if you're going to commit yourself to one person, one primary person, or one exclusive person, that's part of it. And I think then you also, you know, don't have to lie to each other if you do cheat, or you can talk about it in a different way if you feel like there's, you know, certain capacity to be honest about whom you're attracted to and how that might impact your life more generally.